Hi everyone, I'm here with Wes Brodhead, who served in leadership here at St. Albert Alliance Church in many ways for many years. And Wes, you've been an elder, a board chair, and for the past 4 years you've served here at Stack as the executive pastor. Tell us a bit about what that experience has meant to you.
Well, Carl, I got to tell you that being called by Jesus to work in a church in this environment has been one of the joys of my life. Quite honestly, I never expected to be called to do something like this. And I retired from my previous place of employment. I was serving on city council. And then the Lord presented this opportunity to me. And obeying Him has led to an abundance of life that I never expected to experience. And it's been a joy.
That's fantastic. Wes, I think at some point over the past year, you sensed Jesus kind of leading you and telling you that there was a change in store at some point in the future. And I think that the lead pastor transition affected the timing of that a little bit. Where are you at now?
All right, and that's a fair question because when I entered into this position 4 years ago, the vision in my mind was all around, working for one term, and then if I was called back to serve on council again for another term, that would sort of indicate the end of the phase of my time here. And so I thought, if I got reelected last October, that would be the time, and I would say to Jeremy and to the board at the time, I would just say, thank you, it's been a blessing, but it's time for me to go on. And then Jeremy got called to another position. And then there was a request just to stay around to provide a transitional period of stability until all of the sort of the leadership pillars were in place. And then the Lord just gave me a real peace around the time that it was time for me to be able to go. So.
Well, Wes, you've announced that at the end of this month, you're going to be stepping out of this role, and we're grateful for you. I wonder, as you look back on the last 4 years of ministry here, what are some highlights that stand out for you?
Well, one of the highlights, of course, is just watching the staff and indeed the congregation, both in person and online, flourish during a time of unprecedented experience. COVID-19 hit in March of 2020, and all sorts of new and different things had to be dealt with, not only in our own personal lives, but in the life of the church. There was times when we had to reduce staff, we had to reduce wages, all of those things had to be done. And yet through it all, the Lord was very gracious. But I got to tell you, one of the things that was just so amazing to me, and quite honestly a gift, was not only understanding Jesus' faithfulness, but being given the gift of being able to see that in a real tangible fashion. And then I also got to witness Jesus' faithfulness through His people. Through this whole pandemic period, we were building a brand new church, and there was significant angst, I got to tell you, around whether or not the financial wherewithal would be there. And I got to see, because of my position, the weekly numbers come in, and it was like watching a weekly miracle. The numbers just were there. The giving of God's people blew me away.
Do you have any kind of parting words of encouragement or wisdom for our congregation during this time?
Well, I would say God is faithful, and through all the phases of our life, lean into Him. It has been a blessing to me to be here and participate, and I'm not really going anywhere. St. Albert Alliance is still my church home. I'll just transition to a different time of my life and a different role. And I'll be a supportive congregant member, and I will speak to the glory of Jesus for the rest of my life.
Well, Wes, on behalf of the elders board and the staff here at St. Albert Alliance Church, and really on behalf of the entire congregation, I just really want to thank you for your caring and wise leadership, and also for the humility that you've shown in supporting those who are at the front lines of ministry over these last 4 years. You've been a real gift. We also recognize that in your other job, you have a role of real strategic influence for Jesus in the city. And so we just bless you and really affirm you as you represent him and as you seek to be a blessing, to be good news to our neighbors. We honor you and just want to say thank you today.
Well, thank you for that. And like I said to you earlier, the story of Wes is not that interesting. The story of Jesus and Wes, maybe that might be worthy of a chat. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.